Okay, so this is what I did for a recent patient. Did the intake and found that, I have some notes here. She had adult onset asthma 3 to 5 years ago. She is sensitive to many things in her environment and has a lot of food allergies or food sensitivities. She gets rashes and things from weird stuff like vitamin C and B vitamins. And she has some hypothyroid concerns, but there was no diagnosis. She was really just feeling sluggish. Took some past medical history, all of the allergies, current meds, current supplements are what she's recently tried, and review systems, etc., etc. Okay. So it was a kind of a complex case because of what she had written in the review of systems. So I went to patient prep. First thing I did was looked up a few things in general medicine on adult onset asthma, and then I went to NDNR and I looked up how to treat adult onset asthma, and there's an article here, treatment of adult onset asthma. So I read that whole article. Mostly it just talked about how successful this person's treatment was based on IV therapy. This is a telemedicine patient though, so I can't do IV therapy, but it's good to see what they found beneficial. So I looked a little bit more at NDNR, tried to find some other stuff. Didn't see anything that I really liked, except my suspicions of leaky gut obviously were pretty high. And so for leaky gut, for example, I went to TAP Integrative. And I just wanted to get a potential patient handout for leaky gut. So what you do is you get here, and in TAP Integrative you can go to clinical protocols, and you can pick what area. I just like to do all of them, and then Control F from there. Control F. There's nothing on asthma. They haven't done anything on asthma, right? Or any kind of respiratory diseases. So I know the link with leaky gut though, so I went to intestinal permeability. And remember, this is for students as well. A lot of the stuff us as doctors already know. But I did watch some of the video with this interview, looked at the handout. You can download the illustration, something great to give to the patient. And read a couple of the questions and answer section. Was reminded that pancreatic enzymes, zinc carnosine and L-glutamine, are probably the three biggest powerhouses for helping clear away leaky gut. So that only took a few seconds. Then I went on over to, I probably checked Probiotic Advisor to see if there's any specific probiotic strains that are beneficial in asthma. You can always check Digital Naturopath to see what they have in regards to asthma. But knowing that in my treatment sheet, it was going to consist of a few phases of healing. One of those would be investigating nutritional deficiencies, lab work, some vitamin D level lab work, maybe a comprehensive stool analysis, and some more just investigative work. But while that's happening, I thought it was important to give at least a few supplements, obviously to try to get her as healthy or as breathing as easily as possible, since that's her main concern is asthma and asthma attacks. She was on albuterol, so I went to Midavin. I just wanted to double check that there's no deficiencies caused by albuterol, which it didn't list any. And sometimes, because they can be a little bit different, I'll go to the natural medicine database and I'll check for nutrient depletions there as well. so there's no issues there. So I just wanted to make sure that I did have her with me on the phone since it was telemedicine. When I presented the treatment sheet, I did have her look at chronometer, and I said, instead of just doing a food diary, go ahead and add your foods in chronometer. That way at the week's end, we can look what you're chronically deficient in. And a lot of times they'll get, a lot of the B vitamins, they might get a lot of vitamin C, vitamin E, they might be fine on. They might be low on some magnesium, calcium, probably some zinc. In her case, most definitely she's going to be deficient probably in zinc, based on what I know about her diet so far from the intake. But instead of me putting all that, her food stuff in, I'd rather just her do it. She's trying to save a little bit of money, so we could do a nutrition panel, but this will probably be pretty effective as well if we just add foods for a week and see what she's at. So she's going to be doing that for this next week. And then back to what I was saying about supplements. What supplements can I give her right now to decrease her frequency and severity of asthma attacks? So the two best resources for that are probably, besides Examine, are probably Emerson Protocols and the Natural Medicines database. So I went to Emerson's. This one, I think you have to be a doctor, but I can't remember. Both in Emerson's. Computer's being a little slow. I probably have too many tabs open. I went to a asthma, and you can read about it, and they'll include some things you can do for bronchial asthma. They talk about acupuncture, chiropractic appointments, diet. Most of these didn't pertain to my patient. And then supplements. Okay, so none of them are 3 stars. The highest star rating is 3 stars, which is annoying. So there's only 2 stars and 1 stars. Okay, so what are some of them? And you can read some of the research overview from this section. So what caught my eye was boswellia, fish oil, beta carotenes, and I don't have much familiarity with this herb, so I'll kind of put that on the back burner. And then I kind of cross-reference that with the Natural Medicines database, and you can go to comparative effectiveness up here. Is probably the easiest way to do it. So let me show 3 ways to do it. Okay, so you're at the Natural Medicines homepage. You can either type in asthma, see, sometimes it'll say professional, it'll say commercial products. You don't want commercial product, you just want asthma. That's why this can be annoying, this search function. Let's try up here. It might be the same thing. So because that's annoying, what I did, what's sometimes easier is if you just go to comparative effectiveness, because that just lists all the diseases in alphabetical order. And because I found myself using this link so often, in the patient prep, besides this link, I also link directly to the comparative effectiveness. Very useful when you already have a diagnosis for your patient. So let me go to asthma. And here it gives me a layout of possibly effective, possibly ineffective, likely ineffective, and there's insufficient evidence. A lot of times the insufficient evidence, though, there's got some pretty good evidence. It's just not enough studies, or maybe it was just one study. So I see in that group, there's the fish oil, there's the boswellia, there's the beta carotene. But I'd rather maybe rely on some things that look more effective in the research. And I noticed black seed or black cumin oil, choline, so maybe giving her some egg yolks, but she has so many food allergies. I don't know if she handles eggs very well. I don't think she does. Magnesium, obviously, some pycnogenol here, and some thymus extract. So I read into most of these. I just clicked and read them and see if I liked the research that they did. And that way, if I do prescribe it, I can see what the effectiveness was for asthma. So you do it for 3 months, continue it for twice daily. There's different studies administering it differently. This is cool too because you can go down to dosing and administer, and then you can look asthma, what has been studied as a dose. 2 grams daily for 12 weeks, 50 milliliters per kilogram for 3 months, a single dose, high dose, and then also 5 milligrams twice weekly for 4 weeks. And I think I looked up that study just because 500 milligrams is something easy to give. Okay, so I have some ideas of what supplements I want to give right away. So when I was making my treatment sheet, I went to full script. I think I already have it pulled up here. And then I added the thymus. And those that took thymus showed an improved reaction to other things, allergies, like a decreased reaction to other allergies that they have when they reintroduce those allergies. Because you have so many food allergies, that would be a good one to give. There's the black cumin oil, and then I did the pulmonary factors because it had the boswellia in it, had the NAC, she's got a lot of mucus, had a little bit of magnesium, and then the bromelain and quercetin for the other allergies and environmental allergies, a little bit of Mariva, overall inflammation, and then coleus and the Tilliphora asthmatica leaf. So I like that, so I chose that one as one of them. And there's the 3. And I include those on the treatment sheet. So when I went to the patient, let's see, these are just some notes here. I said, okay, we're going to do 5 main steps. Here's phase 1 through phase 6. Phase 1 is investigate further causes through lab testing, give evidence-based supplements to reduce frequency and severity of asthma. Phase 2, based on labs, if we get back, we can heal gut if we need to. We can replace nutritional deficiencies, optimize the sleep, and decrease environmental insults. So like an air purifier or more time spent outdoors on non-inversion days. And then some other ideas that I have that I want to go with for long-term maintenance and hopefully healing of her asthmatic state. So I recommended the labs. I told her about the chronometer, and then the supplement recommendations, the 3 that I feel would be best at this time. And then based on her comprehensive stool analysis, we'll do maybe some, we'll see if there's any pancreatic insufficiency. We'll see if any dysbiotic gut, which there likely is, even though she has a fantastic diet. We'll see. So that's what I did using HubND.